It's going to be one of those series that feels, I think, very emotional. And with a series, I'll be honest, like matches like this where the first two maps you look at and say mistakes here, mistakes there, you start to add the emotion and the intensity of an elimination setup where it is map number 3. It could still be a map that like mistakes can be pretty present and can be punished. So we'll see who's got the cleaner approach to this map.
Yeah, really looking to grind it out here on Split. And I wonder if this is something where Teddy Tactics are going to be ready for the composition that they pull out from Evolution, maybe expecting a bit of a different approach, because previously Evolution were always running that double controller here on Split, you know, so it's a very different look coming out from them.
Now opening salvo exchange at mid, fault line, over towards B main. Interesting idea here from Castle. Going to break some timing with the little blast pack burst over the side, but not much to really speak of here. Just going to be an orb collected, and instead we'll focus to see if Gabby can get any scouting done over at A on this little island play.
Yeah, just kind of playing very passively here for Logic, right? This has kind of been the name of the game, is just play deep on those setups, allow them to kind of walk into those traps. You are looking to push them into that side of the map with the information gathering and presence on the other extremity. And then right now, as they pause outside of this tripwire set over for ramps here from Teddy Tactics, Evolution are just looking to have a little moment to regroup, right? We still haven't been able to find that camera, so it still finds a bit of value. Now taken down. Just trying to look to crunch over towards A Heaven, which is 30 seconds quiet.
Yeah. Trapwire broken. Here comes the play up through ropes. Arya, I don't know if really saw much, but you know when that trapwire breaks and that this is going to be a hit coming into the direction of Logic. Just has a classic on site. Will be suppressed. Just going to dance a little bit here. Arya trying to find some help on the cross. Not really able to do too much. And the first 2 kills are good for EVO. Plant's going to come through. And I just don't know how you reshell this. If you're Teddy, you've got no tower control. You're weak at screens. And this should be a comfortable pistol for EVO.
So tough there. Grenade! Not too much you can really work with as far as utility goes as well. It's just an impossible round here for Teddy Tactics, honestly. Just looking forward at this point here, it was a good idea. I think an expected setup from Teddy Tactics with Logic playing so deep on that A site. Evolution were aware of it, cognizant of, okay, expecting a very similar style to maybe how Logic was playing that Vice on Sunset as well. And it being suppressed there just really took away that whole ability to anchor, because it was very reliant on that one trip that was spread across, you know, the front side bank.
A little bit of a firing range, firing gallery set up here at mid with the plastic. Zoe in trouble. Still gets one good help from Nora after the flash has come through. Nova Pulse just to make sure there's no follow-up. And yeah, that's just a good receiving of the aggression from Evolution. They know they've got Cal stuck in a corner, or do they? I thought they had, but instead they're just going to let Zoe stay here and get to work entering into B. The defense going to try to beat them there. Could make this a little bit more punishing, but no. Not fully. Easy. Right there.
Yeah, nothing you're going to do here for Logic. It's just about looking forward to the next round. The anti-eco and then the bonus to come out from Evolution, right? I think we've seen nice presence coming out from Evolution over towards mid. That's what you want to see on Split. Try and pick up part to some of those setups there as well. I think what's fun too about Norabor being on that Astra is the ability to even kind of get like some cheeky inserts over towards mid as well. Just having that opportunity to throw down one of those stars, you do a callback on the Nebula instead of wasting an actual like smoke on it, and you just have like someone cross over tuck into a corner, right? So it kind of opens up that opportunity for some of those like quick little micro plays on the attacking side to get those lurk insert opportunities down. And looking forward to seeing how Evolution might try and bring those into their gameplay going forward. Well, let's see how telegraphed this A presence is going to be right off the gate. Looking to deal with these trips pretty early on.
Well, stuns will land kind of, once again, the utility exchange not really to give you attention towards much. They're looking for the spy cam, and eventually Zoe's able to find it.
Just a little peekaboo.
That's a weird game of peekaboo, which is like hoping you can connect with it. Logic just, again, checking from screens. He's going to have some assistance with the utility from top tower. And look at this walkover here at mid. Dark cover to try to stave off any play. And, if I was going to say, if Kestrel goes much further, could be a chance at maybe isolating, but Nora deletes the stealth zone, and there'll be some respect given by Teddy there.
Just looking to reposition, try and fall back. You can feel even the pressure that Evolution has put over on that A site just by destroying that ramps tripwire alone, right? And then the cam on top of that. And instead, this is really going to be up to Arya to stall out this push over towards B with the paranoia available.
30 seconds left.
Well, here comes the engagement. Cal's going to find the first. Gabby trying to step on forward.
Timing.
SMGs could do some damage here. Nice little underhand with the paint shells, but Orange just picks it up. And the last one standing is Nova, a little bit too far away from the spike to play for plant, so it's going to have to be down to can you find both kills, and yeah, the defense will not allow that to happen, so. Okay, not bad though. I mean, in terms of how a bonus is going, like you force out 3 repurchases, like it's not terrible at all. I think EVO's going to be okay with that.
And the plan was there as well with how EVO was looking to approach that bonus round too. That little B crunch that they were looking to bring out. And it came down to a great stall. Again, the paranoia, buying that time for the team. I think it was a really nice call as well for Arya to actually throw that dark cover over towards B tower to deny that visibility over to the mid players on Evolution that were trying to actually pinch over at that site and arrive in time to assist the remainder of the squad. But I like this change now in aggression from Teddy Tactics. They're pressuring that flank over towards A. They destroy the trip and opt to push back. They're trying to funnel Evolution into the Cypher setup that has been swapped over towards this B site here for Logic.
Right there.
Cage triggered.
Good first blood from Logic through the cyber cage. Just one of those things, again. Sometimes you're just lucky. And Evolution, ooh, oranges, that's bold. You know, the interesting thing about this setup here for Teddy, it is like, outside of just like a dark cover here and again, which they are spending a dark cover early to try to get some extensive pressure on the outsides of the map. Like this mid playthrough vent, honestly, like this could be a really good linchpin for how Evolution successfully build their offense. Like there's just not a lot of test towards that mid play.
You would think that, but then you also have like the positioning from oranges, right? So deep in spawn, you get the mid line from both sides, but the timing is just not quite there.
I think what Evolution is doing by walking through mid, getting some vent pressure, and now getting up to tower for 3 has been great. It's going to put so much pressure on this defense on the site itself, even with cyber cages and spy camps. Timing here through the smoke. Gabby just one snaps, but no. Kalsushi responds. We'll get tied up at 2.
I definitely agree with you when it comes down to the idea of like that contact play. I see the vision as well though from Teddy Tactics with how they're trying to play those like mid trap plays. It just also relies on a bit of information which they were completely lacking in mid. There was nothing to go off of to actually throw down that fault line in time, but ends up working out nonetheless. I think that's the big thing for Evolution is that they know that they can't really telegraph that frequently when they're expecting those traps to be waiting on the other side from Teddy Tactics.
Well, save here for Evolution. Armageddon right down they main. Gives Teddy some room to play with here. It's going to force a lot of utility to come out of Evolution if they want to even stage some sort of attack. But yeah, again, this mid defense is really soft. I mean, you delete the cyber trap that's there, and you immediately get the defense pulled off of ramps. So you re-clear that for free, honestly, if you're Evolution. You'll take that, considering the weaponry that you have.
I think that the positioning's pretty common though now. Now that we have like such a Teho heavy meta before the nerf comes in the next patch, is you can't really contest mid super heavily on the defense because of those salvos as well, though,
Yeah,
right?
that's
We've
true.
seen that positional change coming out from the majority of teams. If you're not fighting for it heavily and going for those mid peaks, you're usually playing a bit back to actually bunker a bit more onto sites and into some of those traps. You give it up and then you look to retake the space afterwards. Now the shift
Camera
back
taken.
over,
30
there's
seconds
going to be
left.
nothing to really contest this speed power control here. The Logic's fully going to have to give it up.
Found you.
Aftershock coming through. Arya will stay alive.
Good mid-side smoke.
Yeah, time is running out. Really good follow-up with the timing on the fault line with that. Really beautiful stuff from Teddy Tactics.
Enemy remaining.
Again, the weaponry not great here for Evolution either way, but those are things that's just like, wow, they hit us. They hit 3 of us at the fault line as soon as the dark cover faded away. It's perfectly done.
I think that's been part of like the difference between these two teams too. Is I feel like when we shut out Teddy Tactics, it's a lot of the layering of utility and the communication that has to be going on for this team to make all of that come together when it comes down to these like combinations of positions and util. For Evolution, that's not to say that they don't have good utility. It just isn't used as as intricately as Teddy Tactics do. They focus a little bit more on that macro and keep it a little bit simpler when it comes to that util to enable them to find success in a lot of those gunfights. And now back to a default here for the side of Evolution. A very different look towards the setup as well, coming out from the Cypher. And Logic too, this is probably the most spread out that we've really seen that Cypher utility. So I like that they're being flexible. You know, for Logic, keeping Evolution kind of guessing at all times with that utility.
Oh, here we go. Armageddon coming through, forces Arya out of that back pocket. Again, utility that's being spent for the defense allows them to get back into position. Logic good timing on his peak. Finds 2. Follow up from Arya. In this back position, cleans up the rest. And it looks like this should be a pretty comfortable round for Teddy, unless Evolution with this dark cover fades can find some timing on this. Gabby for 1, almost gets it straight onto a second. Nova's still alive, but only for a small time. So very back and forth, but Teddy take the edge in the kills.
Looking good. I mean, again, I think Arya has just been so fun to watch on the Omen, even when being a little too risky. Most of the shrouded steps have been so cerebral when it comes to the repositions and looking to counter position based off of util that Evolution's been throwing out there as well. And the timeout now to be called from Evolution, sure, and a misleading scoreline, if you will, with that 4-2. Sure, you might go, okay, only 2 rounds between these two teams makes the difference, but it's been the last 4 rounds for Teddy Tactics. Evolution have yet to be able to find success in a gun round. It's really only been that pistol and the anti-eco, and with that timeout, you're expecting the conversation to revolve around what game plan they want to execute with all of the ults that they have in line after this eco.
Alrighty. See what Evolution can put together here off this timeout. I mean, again, there's just so many tools that are available here, and this is, I think, you know, early rounds, we're more than halfway through this half. Rounds like this, where you can either show us that you want to combine ultimates or choose to stagger them. If you can find like good conviction in rounds that look like this, I mean, granted, I say that and there's, you know, no purchase here, but you know, rounds that you've got multiple ultimates, like I just love to see how teams manage that in terms of, you know, not just their overall financial eco, but their ultimate economy as well. You know, we've seen teams, even in that last game with FlyQuest, it's just like overspending ultimates is one of those things that just feels really bad. So we'll see what Evolution decide to do here off this timeout. How do you want to start to put together this round? If you find a pick, do you have anything in mind in terms of we Rolling Thunder that, or we Cosmic Divide that, get onto site with a showstopper? We can maybe win a round here and turn this half maybe a little bit more favorably towards us.
Yeah, it's all going to have to start with that numbers advantage, though, here for Evolution. And you've been talking about these contact plays here to deny any ability to throw any early counter utility.
Now, that's tough. And that's even worse. Nora does trade. Difficult weapon to go pick up, though, off this cross. Kestrel inside the site also shows that there's no easy entry to B. And I love this. Yeah. Just retaking B main, let the other two defenders play for tower control. If you need to crunch back on the play, you can. Maria's going to get so much information here.
Spike down.
Decent
B.
trade, Cal.
Wait, doesn't he? Well, oh, okay. I don't think that even saw Cloudsy's elbow unless I missed
I don't think so
it.
either. But Cloudsy's still stuck with 30 seconds. Like, the option of rotating back to your mid is your only thing, but you got a spy cam at top tower, and the defense could still follow up on this pretty easily.
I mean, it makes sense to telegraph that position when you're looking to regroup with Nova here as well. But yeah, you were talking about that spy cam, the ruse will be given up, and not even just by that, but hearing all that util around, even the ropes being taken there.
10 seconds
I'm
left.
not expecting Logic to actually not be home on site. I like the positioning. Teddy Tactics looking to fully play together here in this game, too.
Last player standing.
Trade is decent.
3 bullets.
Cloudsy, off the reload, has a rolling thunder. And it's going to hit both, or maybe only just the one.
Both.
Kestrel, blast pack back over towards screens. Oh, is affected by this, but we'll shake it off. Fault line now coming back through. Does that hit? Hard to say, but the information's still coming through. Kestrel going to shake that off again. Toggles, but the advantage goes to Cloudsy until the contact is out, and Kestrel snaps for the headshot, and a 5th round will come through for Teddy.
Great read coming in there from Kestrel. They knew that, okay, we're taking a little too long to be wrapping over towards elbow. It has to be the long wrap over on the other side. Swing through main, and for Evolution, that's tough. I mean, it's a great eco round that they were able to find, right? They only use the one ultimate to try and salvage it, and you keep it close. Not allowing Teddy Tactics to amass too many funds, but still, they're still feeling pretty comfortable overall when it does come down to those credits. And now this is where it really matters, because Teddy Tactics have cycled up into ults of their own.
Yep. We're gonna get some explosions here. Showstoppers! Kestrel! Once again, just punishes Zoe. It's just not been a showstopper day for them.
Oh, it
And
feels so unlucky. Like,
it feels major unlucky.
it's just one of those days where you're like, you feel a little deflated every time you pull up the showstopper. You're like, I don't know what's going on with this PC util. But now, they've got that deep B main control. You've got the Cypher setup that Teddy Tactics are trying to funnel Evolution into as well. And again, that mid lurking presence, something that we saw from Gabby's consistently over at the B side of Lotus previously, but that's gotta hurt.
Shadows traveling.
And look at Nova still over at A. The call is being made
30
to
seconds
rotate
left.
back, but you've got 28 seconds on the clock. Logic is still back site.
Whoa. Good contact for Nova. Armageddon just to figure out the backside. You know that you're going to get... Oh, good teleport in from Arya.
Yeah.
Really good teleport in. So now you can actually try to hold this
They
switch
don't
on the
have time
side.
for this.
Crossfire setup, though, but Arya
10 seconds
drops
left.
Logic. May catch Nova with the weapon crossing, but no. The only play you have right now is
Great
Kestrel.
nade.
Can they stop it with the paint shells? Salvo behind it. Nora can't plans. Oh my goodness. It looked like EVO had gotten the perfect read in the setup.
Can't use that yet.
Consolation kills, but the explosive energy behind the paint shells and the salvo saves it for Teddy, honestly.
I mean, that round felt like whiplash. Like, it was like, okay, they're out of time. Oh, wait, Evolution might win this. Oh, wait,
Yep.
Teddy, you're taking it back. No way, Evolution are gonna win this. Like, a back and forth with how scrappy it ended up getting, but the utility being just enough to buy that time. The idea was there, just not enough seconds on the clock to make it comfortable for Evolution. With util is available when you do run that Tejo and that breach on either team, but First time we're seeing a 5 stack outside of any site here, and Teddy Tactics more than comfortable to stack heavily leaning towards mid and A themselves with the uncontested setup there at B. Oh, nice paranoia.
Oh, timing. Gallo gets one. Follow-up wall, rolling thunder. Whoa, hello.
Oh,
whoa,
whoa,
hello.
hold on.
Player standing.
Awkward, but
okay.
Zoe keeps the play alive.
Stun
It
buff.
has to still be a 1v2. Do they know that Mortis is in the corner? They do. Cuts them with the flash in the wall. Random headshot connects. So now you're down to a 1v2. Almost gets the isolation onto Aria. Hosto is out, and Aria will not miss play. 7-2. Teddy up by 5.
Looking really comfortable right now on defense, but it does come down to right down to the wire in some of these moments. It felt like, you know what? Zoe missing all of those showstoppers. One, if you watch this back, I'm sorry that I keep bringing it up. Two, I'm bringing it up because I'm saying that your luck was being packed up into that round with how many picks you were able to get while like being stunned, flash, like that was all of that being returned to you in the universe. But now Evolution on the back foot with this eco, these plays to maintain that heavy B control have been conditioned from Teddy Tactics, although uncontested this time.
Well, Kestrel will find him first. Still opportunities for Nora. Or just spams it down, sprays it down, already connects over to the edge. And again, up close and personal. Pistol to finish. It'll be a flawless round for Teddy. 2 to play here. Key rounds here for Evolution. Very key rounds coming up.
It also just feels like Teddy Tactics, obviously they feel confident in this split pick, but almost like they're riding off the momentum with how close they were able to reverse sweep Lotus. It didn't pan out for them, but you could feel like the vibes and the energy really amping up on the side of Teddy Tactics in that last map that we just saw. And it seems like that kind of mentality is carrying over very nicely with how they're synergizing together right now on split. And Evolution, glad to see that they're not slowing down by any means despite only having these 2 rounds.
Ooh, Aria in trouble. Good utility for Evolution. Gorgeous. Wow. Decent trades. Flashes out. Kestrel with the pinch. Hello? Okay, there we go. It's a spike carrier. That's not what you want. And Kestrel is 1 off from getting a showstopper. You got a crossfire set up here with Logic, and both EVO members are low. So this gut check hit with utility flooding at A doesn't really fully do too much.
Showstopper online now too. Here for Kestrel on top of that. It just becomes impossible almost.
Last player standing. One enemy.
Well, here we go. It's all about who the fish. You can hit the headshot if you're Gabby, and they do. Oh, whoa, that's key. What a win, and that saves this half in a lot of ways for the side of Evolution if they can, again, purchase up and find one more.
You know, it's okay. I'm questioning why we got off of the crossfire angle, but it is all good. They stopped the bleeding on the side of Evolution. If you're a fan of that team, that's how you want to see the cookie crumble. And that showstopper will be able to be carried over here for Teddy Tactics into this next round. And still, though, Evolution, it's not the most comfortable buy coming in with them. I think a couple Bulldogs, got the Guardian coming in here as well.
Ugh.
They've gotten so much information. The expectation for it to be a full like mid to B hit here, because they do lack that mid presence, but the 5 player is just sitting in B garage right now. Stop. This
Oh. Okay. Aria is on her game right now. Dark cover will fade. Logic's to hold the back of the site. Good reveals on both players that have made it at least onto the site itself, and that's the benefit of this passive setup out of the Cypher. Wow. And it's just down to Nora for what would have to be a 1v4 with plenty of time to work with, but no spike in the ad. So there's going to be a triple setup here. And it looks like Teddy's going to get 9 unless there's some sort of an unfortunate lineup here and Evolution can punish, but no, not going to happen.
Full firing squad. But man,
Switching
Dude.
sides.
Arya plays Omen like more aggressively and in even more of a cheeky way than you expect from like Heretic's Boo, who I feel like is one of the Omen players where you look at him and he's just always able to get like some sort of insane TPs off, but the micro decision making coming out from Arya in those moments has been just such a joy to watch. It really does feel like it has been her game on this map, and even some of those moments that we saw on Lotus as well. And for Evolution, now onto the defense, where this pistol round means almost everything for the remainder of this half to set them up as early as possible.
Key pistol for EVO. Teddy looking to just get a full stack. Aria's nowhere near this play, though. At least not initially. Paint shells preemptively used over the top. Wait, that's going to put some major damage. Calsushi's really slow. Paranoia comes through at the right time, but Nova beats a little bit of time clouds with them. One trade is all that will come through 2v3. Although on the site, it will actually just be a 2v2.
On cooldown.
And Nova's been seeing that jump peak. They just don't know about Gabby, and that's all that Evolution needs. Take the pistol. Big win there.
I find them.
Exactly what we needed to see coming out from Evolution. And start out on the right foot here into the second half and set themselves up to start closing the gap a little earlier here up against Heavy Tactics. Curious to see how they're going to continue to handle the attacking side. I felt like it was pretty surprising that we didn't really have any mid presence in that pistol round either. Especially when that expectation is that most of the time that unbreakable trip or difficult to break trip, it gets thrown there for mid as well. I'm definitely giving you a different look this time though.
Contact good for Nora for the first. Isolated 1v1 and over towards B main. Stops Arya in their place, and no smokes means that no paranoia means that this is going to have to be wait for the fault line, hit it, flash it, go with the Tejo as soon as you get the salvo. So that's going to be what likely Ted you have to wait for here.
I still got the tripwire to deal with here as well. Healthy stack.
Oh, clean. How about a wall? Ooh. Good enough.
A little bit of a firing range moment there for Nora Bora. Yeah, but it's all good. Just the eco round there for Teddy Tactics. Not able to do too much with it. Evolution have got to be happy with how many weapons they're able to carry on over into this round here as well. Now back into that default. So we will be contesting that mid presence that we wanted to see coming out from Teddy Tactics, denying any value from potential trips that were going to be thrown out. It won't be the case this time around. Instead, looking at a different approach towards that push and pull, farming up into this orb, getting this crossfire inserted over towards B main. Just they're doing the sound baiting right now to not expect
they really
the off
are.
angle.
Whoa, contact here is big. Fault line avoided. Oh, salvo behind this. Oh, wait, the salvos don't land. And, I was going to say Calsushi's actually a little bit trapped. That would have been huge for Evolution, but now all of a sudden Teddy's going to try to chase down Zoe, and they will. This is everything here in terms of trying to lock down mid. Separates the play, but Clouds catches a spike carrier. Gabby tries her timing on the peak, not going to work out. Now it's just down to Clouds the Bulldog.
2 flashes at the very least. Aftershock here as well. And look at the pressure that Logic's presence created with mid. That mid pick over towards Vents is that concern that there is that wrap into heaven, even though they look to regroup with the team and playing it smart here on the side of Teddy Tactics. All 3 players over towards B main. That plant down nice and open into the post. It's going to depend on how much this fault line can really catch.
Well, a little bit of damage there, but
Get off my back.
wait.
Come on.
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, wow. That would have been nuts, but Petty pull off an offensive round, get to double digits. The gap stays at 5. Constant Divide, though, is at the ready here for Evolution. And it feels like we're starting to ramp this one up here. We got full purchase. We have an operator on the field for Zoe. Interesting. See what they want to do with that. And the purchase will still be fine for Teddy Tactics, but they're going to go into a Guardian and a Judge. And maybe something else a little bit softer for Ari as well. So there's potential here for EVO to start to really get into this round, this half here.
Yeah, that's the thing. That was a really, despite the round win there for Teddy Tactics, it was an expensive one. And Evolution, they've got to be happy with that bonus, right? But overall, now a very quick space taken over towards Mail here for Kestrel. Additional layers. Both smokes, though, used right off the gate just to get this insert here for the Judge.
Well, the thing about it is you also have Nova tagged up heavily by that opening utility as well for Teddy. Stealth drone. Is that what they see him sneak in? Zoe hits for the first. Oh, the flash. Is that a team flash? Very well may have been. And Evolution are actually going to collect on the kills.
Concealment.
Yeah. 2v4.
I think that was a flash from Oranges.
Maybe a little bit of a miscalculation.
Timing-wise, for sure, if that was the case. I don't know who else it would have come from. Like, Cloudsy still has both, so yeah, it had to have been.
Last player standing.
Oh,
Spike
man.
down B.
Just gotta look to save this here. 30 seconds.
30 seconds left.
We're sure that we're not. Okay. Can't do too much about that. Probably had, I think the salvo's behind them as well, so a difficult position to be in. Can't really run anywhere at that point. This is the point where I would expect, though, Teddy Tactics to maybe call some sort of timeout within the next 2 rounds before Evolution catches up any further. Maybe take a moment, take a breather, a reset. After having such a strong start to the last half.
The enemy is necessary.
And this is actually one of those things that, like, again, you take a tally of like where we are in this map, like the macro sense of it. Evolution, you're expecting to win this round pretty convincingly. And if you can get a couple of these ultimates, again, right at the ready, you're going to have an explosive round that could change the entire dynamic of how this map has gone. So it just feels like we're building up to these points where it's like if you're going to win this series, you're going to have to prove it. And I love when maps end up finding some kind of basic timing. K-Cells will get the final there, and then Clouds, no worries on the logic. So yeah, you've got Showstopper, Constant Divide, 2 off the Rolling Thunder. The other side of things, Armageddon, Rolling Thunder at the ready, Showstopper 1 off. So if it doesn't happen in this round, it'll happen in the next or in round 20. And that could dictate the entire outcome of this map, legitimately.
Yeah, again, I'm honestly surprised that we're not seeing Teddy Tactics call some sort of timeout right now. They've only been able to find the 1 round.
I'm ready.
And it's tough looks at the moment. I think Evolution have been doing really well to try and corral Teddy Tactics into their waiting arms, into the crossfires that they have set up, some of those trap plays. Cloudsy too. On the timing to leave that angle.
Oh, love this call from Teddy. Although, good response from Zoe. Armageddon.
Nope.
Oh,
wait,
just
what?
able to sidestep it. Wait. Did she get over the top of one of the bursts of it?
I swear to God, that is what occurred.
Is that a thing? Can you do that?
Maybe just like the smallest of margins of timing with that. I'm not entirely sure. It happened a little too quick to actually grasp what I went down. But this positioning from Arya means so much on this wrap back around. We've got 2 players over towards ramps as well, pulling out the utility.
Okay. Trades are back. Zoe has to hit this Showstopper.
Nice
You just
finish.
do. I mean, they're weak, too. That's the problem. But you cannot just walk into the site. Here comes the Showstopper. Fault line, salvos. Oh, Zoe's held back. Enough for Logic to get 1. Showstopper would have connected, but it doesn't make a difference. Zoe now by themselves. Yep, Oranges will finish it off. That's the round right there. So now you look at 11-7. Money's going to be fine for EVO, but you're waiting for an Armageddon and a Rolling Thunder, whereas a Showstopper's at the ready here for Teddy Tactics try to get to 12.
You see as well, like, posturing coming out from Teddy Tactics outside of V, maybe expecting that out of all the orbs that EVO might go for, it would be the B main one. You still have presence over on the other side of the map as well. They're looking to fight forward, deny that ult control if they can. Not going to work out this time around with the salvos to deny that space to be taken. Norabora gets forced back off on that B site here as well. But look at the replay. I love this push back in. Teddy Tactics know, okay, Evolution, they just wanted that ult orb to get into their own hands, and they fully fall off. They buy that fake that was leaning over towards that B side. You have that from the shadows from Arya to take the entirety of backside control, and now that spike just waiting to get planted.
Oh, big first from Kestrel.
I know exactly where.
Plant is in, the roll theft out. Kaza divide, Armageddon. We'll get him an opportunity to try to isolate. After shot comes through, Kestrel is in trouble and will fall.
Can't do anything there.
Good first. Nova Pulse does not land on the player to the side. Here comes the reattempt from Teddy, playing the post plant from over towards ramp side. Rolling Thunder will hit onto Arya. Can they survive? Can they find one? Good follow up with the flash, just hoping you could tap away at it. Just down to Logic for the 1v2, and he's got just a Guardian. Angles there, though. Sees both. There's the first. Cloudsy's backs off, gets it to halfway. There's a secondary toggle. And honestly, Logic waits too long. If I'm being just completely critical of it, like, you see the shoulder, you got a Guardian, just at least get some damage in, but tries to wait for information on the other, and EVO gets back into the mix.
I think the call is either you gotta go for that swing right off the gate, or you would just end up playing time there instead of going for the slightly late one where you're expecting, okay, maybe another tap goes down, and then you know that it's going to be a reposition. There's no way they're holding that second half, but small mistakes there and broken money as a result here for Teddy Tactics off around where the plan was so good to even get that spike initiated on A in the first place. Now, Crystal changing up the tempo here for the execution towards the heaven. Hold on.
Ooh.
Give me up. Where is
A little meeting of the minds right there. Neurotuff's going to come through here for the defense for EVO. Going to get to read that it's a quick wrap back over towards the A site. Very winnable here for Teddy, considering the weapons that were in the mix, especially considering that Kestrel can pop a showstopper. Oranges, the first one to contact over towards this ropes rotation. Logic, the first one over towards screens, and they are deep into position. And this is taking a lot of time here for EVO. Only the one flash and aftershock. Cloudsy now empty from any utility. This has to hit. If you're Nora, no. Oranges gets one. Fault line's going to stagger this out, but trade is there.
5 health for Gabby.
Uh-oh. Missed a window there. Showstopper, though. The problem is the time. That's the issue here for EVO. And they're not going to be able to get back into sight here. Oh, man. What a play for Teddy to run it down through vents to A.
Really nicely done. Not even just running it down from vents to A, but it comes down for this thrifty round, the lurk play that comes out from Logic as well, to be able to clear out that A site while the rest of the team is taking that A heaven control to get us to this match point. Now Evolution pulling out a timeout. They've got 4 rounds to work with here to try and bring it over to overtime. You got to give them the credit, though, that Evolution, they've looked good on defense so far. And Teddy Tactics, they've been able to find success kind of here and there. A lot of the times off of some of those like ultimate plays that have been coming out. But overall, I feel like the defense macro from Evolution has been good. I would not be surprised for them to take it over to OT.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, it's going to be a heck of an effort here, especially considering that there's still going to be things like Rolling Thunder, Armageddon, probably to be re-earned before we get to that point for Teddy Tactics. You also got to keep in mind that these 3 rifles are great, but like, what do you do with Nova? What do you do with Nora, who have been so good for you in this map to this point. A lot of things to talk about. Timeout will expire, and here we go. Gotta have it.
That's the thing. This buy that they've got coming out as well. Definitely a tough look. Doable for sure with the 3 rifles that you get to work with here. Teddy Tactics. A little 4-1 split action. Try to see right now. Nora will stay over on that elbow position, which becomes really dangerous if they're not able to actually find that ability to get back onto site, playing completely on an island and alone otherwise.
Yeah, true. Ooh.
Bomb by out.
Qualifier up. Fault line lands. Kestrel. Uh-oh. Okay, timing was a little bit weird, but it works out. And then, oh, that's a big pick. Zoe trying to rotate behind the play at Vents, but gets caught by Oranges. So now it's going to have to be Gabby. Spy cam being activated, sees a good bit of it, finds the first really cleanly.
Down B.
Flash does not affect her. And can keep their life 2v3.
Planted.
Thing is, we've also seen some miracles occur from Arya and Oranges at any given time on top of that. I like that alley control that we saw. Now it gets a lot easier to read into that B heaven push. There's a contact on the
Arya sees one, thumbs up. Oranges has to save the day. It was also affected by that. Still finds 2!
No!
Oh! And it's a 1v3 essentially for Oranges. 4 in total on the round. Doesn't matter if she's stunned or not. Catches all of it. And Teddy will win the series like that?
That is heartbreaking to say goodbye to Evolution as they hit that 4th loss, but Teddy